Hey, I'm walking home from work. I forgot my earbuds or I can't find them. So I thought, let me just tell you a story. You know how people like to admonish you to follow the money online and are constantly trying to convince you that you're being grifted and misinformed by medical experts here on this and other social media platforms. You know about that? You know where the money really lives? At the risk of sounding like I'm promoting some political conspiracy theories and stuff that I don't actually believe in, I'm going to share with you from an insider perspective, because that's one of the best things about social media is you get to hear from insiders and you get to hear our perspective and you get to hear lots of different perspectives because you're grown-ass adults and you can discern for yourself who you think that authority is and if they have integrity. So here's the story. The money, shocker, comes from large corporations like pharmaceutical companies. And let me just say, I love a pharmaceutical company. They do all sorts of research and development, and they fund a lot of the breakthroughs that we need to have in science and in medicine. However, I also know that they love to try to manipulate with their money, and I know this for a fact because I recently walked away from over a year of negotiations with a very large pharmaceutical company, which I've worked with in the past with no problems, because they wanted me to be a part of their campaign to, quote, raise awareness about one of their new drugs that is non-hormonal for vasomotor symptoms and sleep. But they didn't want me to talk about hormone therapy for an entire year during that contract. And I'm not the only medical expert online that you follow they were talking to. Now, I recently found out they dropped the entire campaign because, surprise, surprise, the people they were talking to, who are medical experts, not medical influencers, we all said, screw you. We're not going to do that. That is lacking in integrity and we will have no part of it. Meanwhile, guess who gets funded by these pharmaceutical companies? A lot of the biggest academic and medical organizations around. Organizations that I also esteem and appreciate because they educate us, they provide scientific content, community, teaching, except for recently they haven't. Recently what they've been doing is fighting around and taking a whole lot of money from pharma. Because I was at one of the biggest meetings of the year 6 months ago, and the entire Orlando Convention Center was essentially shrink wrapped in their ads, as was the hotel elevators over a half mile away. So you tell me, when you see these experts online yelling and screaming, clutching their pearls over misinformation and grifting by selling things like vitamin D and fiber, who really is the money going to and flowing to? And who is really being influenced by the money? Because to my mind, it sure looks like large medical organizations are being influenced by pharma. I know I walked away, and other people that you know and love also walked away. Follow the money.